almost 3 o'clock in the morning. And I am getting ready to lay down and go to bed. But as I sit here thinking about it, I realize I've not been up at this hour for a while. Um, Despite being a lifelong insomniac, um, I've been sleeping an awful lot for the past few months. And I got on Facebook today to make a post um, thanking my son for some Christmas presents that my grandchildren just remembered to give me today. He had left at my daughter's house. And as I scrolled down through the news feed, I noticed some of the videos I've posted. I've noticed of the videos I've posted that one I've neglected to do um, is probably about the thing I've been dealing with most in the past 3 months. Telling my son-in-law as he drove me over to the house the other day to watch my grandkids yesterday. Um, Not to take it personally if I just broke out crying at some point when we were talking, because uh, I've been doing that a lot lately. And as much as I hate to admit it to myself, when I find myself in this pattern of sleeping excessively more than normal and being extremely emotional, I know that I'm in a depression. And I reflected back to him that, in November when I went on my retreat to Sedona, Arizona, Soul Treat with the Wellness Universe. Hi, everybody. I came back from that on such a high. um, Probably a little manic, but not just that. It was my cellular level was resonating at a frequency far above normal. Um, my memory was recall was on like hyperdrive and felt really, really good after I got home for about a week or two. And I think then I crashed somewhere shortly before Christmas, and I feel like I've been fighting ever since then to climb back up out of it. And I'm not sure why. It's been so hard this time. Sure, it doesn't have anything to do with my most recent diagnosis. Actually, finding out that I have Parkinson's has been um, a big relief, because I used to wonder why my body did the things it did. Why am I am. Um, uh, it's just one of those things. It's a cycle I go through every now and then, and I'm not always sure why. Nothing really seemed to happen to take me down there, um, except perhaps that I had overdone it in pursuit of my desire to be at the retreat, and trip home from that was really hard. But still, I was feeling so motivated and inspired and uplifted by all of my people there. 50 plus members and 200 or so friends that came and enjoyed that weekend with me. Uh, I I really floated on that for a couple of weeks, maybe even a few weeks after getting home. I remember Thanksgiving was nice, maybe a little more relaxed than usual, even. Kind of after there that I feel like I started slipping into this abyss. And I don't even know how to explain it. Um, you'll only ever know if you experienced it too. So, for those of you who never have experienced severe depression, clinical depression, um, please be patient with those who have and do suffer from it. Because when we're in the midst of a, um, a cycle, any little thing can trigger the tears. I had a friend come over last night after I got back from my daughter's, and he asked me how things were going with my daughter, baby. So, for those of you who don't know, my daughter found out she was pregnant um, 6 months ago, and uh, two or, a couple of months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, was told that the baby was a girl, and um, turns out that there have been some complications, and the baby is fine. Strong heart, and like a good head, and 10 fingers and 10 toes. Got dad's feet, but it's a little bit slow in development in the genital area, and it is a little boy. In fact, they have now named Trenton Liam Clark, and a couple of weeks ago when they first got noticed that this might be the case, after having already named this little girl they were told about, Emma, Dawn, Michelle, um, My daughter told me that she was feeling like a bad mother because she was mourning the loss of this daughter she thought she had and was finding herself unable to really attach to the son she's now being told she has. And in talking to my friend tonight or last night, when I was telling him short version of this, baby's fine, it's just this and that, he's gonna need a little surgery between 6 to 12 months. But he's fine. I mean, he's healthy, he's strong, he's moving, he's energetic. And now my friend made a comment about the gender thing, the gender issue, and I told him that it didn't even matter to me if the baby were a hermaphrodite. Non-gender thing is trending these days anyway. Who cares what sex anyone is? It's a person. This is a baby. And I would love it no matter what genitals it had or if it had none whatsoever. And of course, I became a little bit emotional talking to him, and he's telling me, calm down, da da. And just kind of got frustrated with him and told him to just leave because we don't need to be told to calm down when we're speaking passionately about something. He asked how things were with the baby, and so I was telling him. He didn't want to hear, he shouldn't have asked. Perhaps I was a little intense because of the way I'm feeling, but it is what I'm feeling, so he heard it. And I feel like I'm rambling on. Um, all, you know, a lot of emotional stuff, but that even in itself is not what's drug me here. He said around Christmas time we thought he was having Emma, and that's still when I crashed. But then again, that time of year, there's always that time of year. And this probably did have a lot to do with it. I always try not to think about it, think, because I deny even acknowledging that it it was 4 days after Christmas that my sister died in 1995. That's been 24 years now. 32, 55. I'll be 56. She never got to turn 33. I was 30. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many years go by. It hurts no less. Every year when that day rolled around, it feels just as raw as yesterday. So Christmas is always hard now. Has been for 24 years. But I've suffered from depression far longer than that. I was 26 when I got my initial diagnosis, major depressive disorder, but I felt it as a very young child, and I really started cycling through it as a teenager. And it's one of those things that I can't say has gotten either better or worse over the years. It just is what it is, you know? Sometimes it's better, and sometimes it's worse. And this has been a pretty bad cycle. Average is 2 weeks to 2 months. I'm going on 3 months here, and I'm still battling. I'm not sure why. I mean, there is a lot going on. House is filled with black mold from the floor halfway up the walls, we found last year, and the whole thing needs to be torn down. And I tried to buy a little barn over the summer and move it over here, and spent all summer long tearing the thing apart on my neighbor's yard. Find difficulty in getting anybody to help me move all of the pieces over here, and I ended up losing most of the addition. I was lucky to get the actual barn part moved as close as I have, and it's on my next door neighbor's property, just barely before the fence line, about 50 feet away from the plot where I'm going to hopefully set it. Um, so that didn't come together quite as planned. That was a barn I had bought so that Dad would have a place to move into while we tore down the whole back half of the house and tried to just keep the kitchen and laundry room area accessible. Move the laundry into the kitchen, tear down the back half of the house, try to get rid of most of the black mold, slow tear down, rebuild. I don't know. Whatever we can do without the insurance, because the insurance isn't going to pay for it. But again, that's not what has me in this cycle. We found that out last February, and then found out in April or May that the insurance company wasn't going to pay for it. So I dealt with that all of last year. I only had a couple of small depressive cycles over the course of last year. And on the upside, I mean, I've got, my fifth book now published, which is actually selling. I've actually been getting royalties from Amazon for the past 5 months in a row now. It's crazy. They're just, cents to dollars, but one last month in Dubai, India. Um, it's pretty weird, and that's good. That's a good thing. Should be uplifting. Here I am, still stuck in this rut. 3 months later. And that's probably why I haven't been very good at posting, regular weekly updates on my Parkinson's or anything else for that matter. And I can honestly say I'll get a whole lot better because I get feeling better and then I get busy outside in the yard when the weather gets nice and I don't want to face my computer some days but I'll keep doing what I can to keep you updated. I'll get out of this cycle too. So again, don't worry too much about me. I'll be okay. Just the way it is for me. And any of you out there who can empathize, bless you. I want to send my love out to Darko, to all of you who bothered watching this long. Good night, everyone.